Welcome back. In this lecture, you are going to be learning about user-generated content. So first of all, what is it and why is it so important? Because it is really important. User-generated content is when a customer or a potential customer creates the content instead of the brand. So if your audience were creating content for you rather than you creating the content, that would be user-generated content. And if that still doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. We're going to look at a couple of great examples in just a minute. Now, this is really powerful because a study into advertising have shown that people trust recommendations from other people 92% more than they trust branded content. 92% more. So that's absolutely huge, meaning that if you can have your audience make recommendations for you, not only you as a business and your products, you're going to be able to build an even deeper relationship with the audience that you already have and turning those potential customers into actual customers. So user-generated content is an amazing way not only to deepen the relationship, but also to get more reach because you'll be having your audience creating content for you, meaning that you'll be reaching even more people. So this is super important to know how to do properly. Now, in order to understand it better, let's look at a great example. And the first great example is GoPro. Now, if you don't know GoPro as a business, they make action cameras. So amazingly, almost all of their content is going to be of other people using their product. So I could go into anything here. Here's someone mountain biking, for example, which is downhill mountain biking, it looks like. And, I can't watch this for too long because I'm going to get sweaty. But if we scroll down, we're going to see that we have a person that's tagged here at Remy Metaylor, hashtag GoPro athlete. So you're going to notice that they're going to use their own hashtags and they're going to do mentions on other people. Now let's take another example. Here's someone that I think is going to surf a huge wave. We're going to have hashtag GoPro awards and recipient mentioned at Lucasfilms. So this is other people generating content for GoPro. And as a thank you, GoPro is posting their content on their own Instagram, which means that they are going to get some more reach as well. So this is a win-win situation. Now let's take one more example. Now if we go out and we can see, well, this looks pretty crazy. So someone jumping from a helicopter. I wouldn't do that, but other people like to. If we scroll down, we can see hashtag GoPro Awards and then recipient Connor Trimble, which is the mention for another person. So GoPro themselves don't have to make that much content because they can take content from their users and put it up on their own channel, which is amazing. Now let's look at another great example as well. Airbnb. You probably know who Airbnb are. They allow you to rent out your house or your cottage or your apartment, whatever it is. Now, amazingly, their service is of course being the middle person between the person who rents and the person who offers the rental. So what they're going to do is that they're going to use the content of their customers and of their potential customers. So I can go in here, for example, we're going to see someone having fun outside of their rental, most likely. Scrolling down, we're probably going to find a mention of a person. Oh, there is a person. Okay, let's do another one. Let's see here. So this is a carousel, meaning we can scroll through different types of content and see the inside here. We can scroll down, probably going to have a person mention Heatherston. So this is user-generated content. It's other people who are creating content for the brand, and in this case, Airbnb. Now understand that these are huge businesses. So Airbnb and GoPro, they are so big that people are willing to create content for them just so that they might get featured themselves. Now, if you create content for them and you would tag Airbnb, you're gonna end up in a section here called the tagged section. So in here, you're gonna find a lot of different people who just tagged Airbnb, and they're probably not gonna get by far as much exposure at all as those who are on their actual feed, because on the feed is where Airbnb themselves have reposted them. Now, if you are a small business, people aren't going to just be making content for you. It doesn't work that way. As a small business, or if you have a small Instagram, you need to make sure that you create a contest where your audience can actually win something. So you're gonna make the contest that's gonna say, if you create a certain type of video or image, you have a chance to win and then whatever it might be. So you're gonna trade having other people create content for you, and in return, they're gonna have a chance to win whatever product or service it is that you're offering. So this is the way for you to generate user-generated content for your business and brand. And it works in 3 steps. So step number 1 is going to be match the contest with your audience. So if you're into yoga, it might be post a video of yourself doing your favorite yoga pose. If you're into design, it might be show off your best handbag design. If you're into baking, it might be show off your favorite cake. If you're into drawing, it might be, you get the hint. If you're into digital marketing, it might be show off your best result. Whatever it might be, ask for content and make sure that it matches your audience. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is ask for the right of their content. Make sure that in this contest, you will have the right to use the winner's material to use on your own channel as marketing. This is super important because if you don't have their allowance to use their content, this is going to be a waste for you because you want this user-generated content. And then step number 3, offer a reward to your audience. This reward could be a discount, it could be a free item, it could be experiencing your service for free once, it could be a consultation, whatever it might be. Offer something that makes sense to your audience and that makes them want to create content for you. Super important. So 3 steps. Number 1, match the campaign or the contest to your audience, whatever it might be. Number 2, ask for the right to use the winner's content for your marketing. And number 3, offer a reward. Now, if this still seems blurry to you, don't worry, let's look at a great example. Now, here's a smaller company called Viva Dogs who sell dog toys, and they're running a contest to get some user-generated content. So the first thing we see down here, if we scroll down in the caption, in the description here, they're gonna show you what's gonna be inside of this offer that they're offering. We can also scroll through and see the different things. Now, it's not in a language that I understand, but if you did understand it, it would make a lot of more sense. Scrolling down to the bottom, we're gonna have the actual text that's gonna explain how this works. And it says, like every month, you can enter our monthly competition by uploading a photo or video of your dog with the hashtag #VivaDogs. And you could win a month's worth of natural food tailored to your furry friend's needs for free. Good luck, champions. So this is how they're generating the contest. They're telling you what to do, and then they're making sure that they're offering a reward. They didn't ask for permission, but I recommend that second step to ask for the permission early on. So this is how you create a contest, and it's not harder than that. And you're gonna have a lot of people generating content for them. And then when it's time to announce the winner, it's gonna look like this. And here we have the Viva Dogs winner, and it's gonna showcase their videos or the images or whatever it might be that they were asking for, which is great. And scrolling down, you can see that they're still using the hashtag and they're putting a mention to all of these winners. So again, they're gonna get that reward, but they're also gonna get the exposure from their Instagram channel. And in return, Viva Dogs is getting free content. So this is an amazing way to get a lot of free content being made for you and start building that trust and having people recommend your product. User-generated content is important. Now, if this was confusing, don't worry about it. Later on in the course, I'm gonna show you how to create this sort of contest yourself. And also we're gonna look at more strategies to generate even more user-generated content. So we're gonna talk a lot more about this. You don't need to understand everything at once. Now, one final thing I want to show you is that when people start creating user-generated content for you, you're gonna get a lot of content and being tagged. If you don't like being tagged too much, like I showed you in here, if you go into the account, to the right up here is all of the people who are gonna send in the content and tag you. Now, if you want to do some quality control, what you can do is go to your profile, go up here in the upper right, and then go into settings, click on privacy, click on posts, and then you're gonna see where it says manually approve tags. It's on off right now, but instead you can make sure that you only approve the tag content that you wanna show on your channel. I don't recommend that you use this for a long time because the more content, the better. But when you grow, into a big channel and a big business, you're going to want to do some quality control down the line. So now you know how to do this at least, but you probably shouldn't be using it for at least a couple of years, at least until you have a couple of 100,000 followers. So this is user-generated content, very important. We're going to talk a lot more about this as we go through the course. So as long as you have a basic understanding of it, that's more than good enough. And we're going to show some practical examples as we go. So stay excited. We're going to dive deeper into hashtags in the next lecture, and you're going to understand why these competitors are using hashtag Vivadogs or hashtag GoPro Awards for all of their posts. It's super important. See you in the next lecture.